Intrepid Studios has once again held their monthly development update stream for their upcoming MMO Ashes of Creation, so it's time for a news video. In today's video, I'll give you guys a studio update, show you guys some of the new environmental art, go over some of the new gameplay, and then to end it, quickly go over the answers to the Q&A. If you guys end up enjoying this video, please subscribe. There will be much more Ashes of Creation content on the way. Links to my Twitter and my Discord server will be below. Let's get right into it. February's pre-alpha test 2 just concluded last weekend, and now we get to look forward to pre-alpha test 3, which is supposed to take place on March 19th through the 26th. The exciting thing about pre-alpha test 3 is that it's no longer under NDA, which means that you're going to start seeing a lot of Ashes of Creation content flowing around the internet. Even if you're not involved in these pre-alpha tests, or if you don't get into the alpha, these are very important stages for a game's development, so everyone should be happy that they're actually taking place. According to Intrepid Studios, the pre-alpha test 2 last week went well in an overall sense, but they did encounter a few setbacks. This is of course normal for the stages of a game's development, especially in MMO. This entire week, Intrepid has spent most of their time deep diving into these setbacks and working to deploy fixes. They actually said that they're going to have some spot testing take place soon, before pre-alpha test 3, to help address these issues. Because of these setbacks though, we're going to have to wait a little longer to get information on when or whether or not the actual Alpha 1 sales will open back up. For those of you who are new around here, this is basically a way to back the game and get into the month-long Alpha 1 test. It seems like one of the main issues that they may be dealing with currently is player concurrency, which is a step-by-step process that usually does include setbacks. I'd have to say that after listening to the entire stream, I almost want to go out on a limb and say it's probably better for everyone to prepare for a possible delay of the alpha. Intrepid did not say this, but it sounded like it could be a possibility. As I've mentioned before in most of my Ashes videos, the studio is currently in a hiring phase. They had around 35 positions open and have filled 8 or 9 of them. Make sure to spread the word if you know of any possible game devs. The faster they get some quality hirees, the faster Ashes of Creation gets made. As of now, if the world goes as planned, or hoped, should I say, Intrepid is planning to be back working in their actual studio by July. And lastly, on the studio update, they recently launched their new website, ashesofcreation.com. It's still in its beginning stages, but we're told to expect many new features as time goes on, such as fun integrations to the game on it, and a lot of in-game related information. Alright, now on to the new art, and then into some of the actual gameplay. This first batch of art is in-game images of the environment within the Alpha 1 map. You're going to notice more vegetation in these images than what we see in the gameplay, and that's because there was a bug that basically destroyed the grass when they were recording the gameplay video. We got to see images of a really cool looking ruins maze-like area, and right here, this image is my personal favorite. I just want to sit right here with some guildmates and take it all in. Right here is the timeless terrapin mount. We got to see a little of this guy before when it was just a gray box, and now it has come to life. It looks pretty amazing, and Intrepid seems to be taking their mounts really seriously. And one of the coolest creatures I think I've seen so far is this 3D design of a creature called the Kuren. We see 2 different versions of it here, and apparently one will be a mount, while the other is a creature that you'll encounter in the wild. Clap for the Intrepid art team, these mounts look incredible. And the last mount we got to see is the unfinished Howling Ridge Ox. The guy looks like a brute. Right here is a preview of some of the sea life that we'll encounter. There's going to be a lot of water content in this game, especially in this particular biome. And Steven says that he wants players to feel a real sense of life, rather than the more empty, isolated type of feeling that most MMOs give off when you're in water. Another testament to the art team's work is this 3D model of the Protector's armor. Look at the detail on this thing. You've got dents in the helmet, a cape that looks like it actually has some weight to it, and then there's little intricate designs on the pauldrons. Cool stuff. Now it's time to talk a little bit about the new gameplay that we got to see. We didn't really get a lot of new information from this, but there were some cool features and we got to see some PvP dueling. They started off their gameplay session in the water to show us that they listened to the community by making it a little bit less blurry down there. So this is what it looks like now when you go underwater. It's definitely a bit more clear, but seemingly still retains that feeling of being underwater. The mounts that they're currently on are not water mounts, so they move a tad slower in the water, and when they hit land, they speed right up. On the shore, they found a tidebreaker and a species of a crab that has a good defensive buff. It is here that they showed us and talked about how they changed the fireball animation to make it feel less constrictive to the player. One of the accompanying game devs said that they want to give players more control while casting spells and doing abilities, as opposed to being stuck in one place, which can make a player feel powerless instead of powerful while doing things in combat. Combat is something that they're currently working really hard on, and it's going through a process of improvement. As you guys watch, make sure to keep in mind that the grass is bugged in this area. I'm not talking about on the beach specifically, but in the green areas, and also that there's still just a lot of work to be done. Intrepid is being very open with their development process, which not many games are willing to do. Not long after this, the players encountered a small camp, and they did a couple quick quests. We're told that NPCs will not have giant exclamation marks or question marks above their heads. Instead, the color of their name will indicate the type of NPC that they are. For example, green names will be quest givers, and gold names are shopkeepers and merchants in general. Steven also pulled up the Alpha 1 map once again. I personally really like the style that they went with. And we even got to see a quest being tracked on the map. As you can see, there's little red dots indicating the location of items that the players need to retrieve for this particular quest. After the camp, the four of them headed to the beach for some dueling. I think the combat gameplay is looking pretty good for the stages that it's currently in. It will be exciting to watch this all really develop over this next year. In the last development update, we were told that they're working on some combat prototypes, so they're obviously testing and trying new things. Combat is going to be very, very important in a game that has so much PvP focus, so it's important that they get it right. I'll let the dueling gameplay play out as I quickly go over the more notable answers from the Q&A. For the pre-order game backing packs, if your backing tier includes a time-limited subscription, this will likely be able to be activated on a date that you so choose when the game comes out. Guild names will have a character limit somewhere around 32 characters. And I'll repeat that, that's guild names, not the actual amount of people allowed to join a guild. If you're registered as a defender for a node siege, and the node you're defending is successfully sieged, you'll not be able to loot the node as a defender. Some players will be registered defenders by default if they're a citizen of the node or if the node being attacked is in an alliance with their own node. There will likely not be any spells or abilities that can only be activated in certain environmental conditions, such as being indoors or outdoors. Spells and abilities may be affected by an environment, but their casting will not be limited by the type of environment they're in. And lastly, we were told that currently the way that the platform system is set up for a node's development is that it's capable of adjusting the topography of the node's footprint regardless of the surrounding terrain. So basically, a node's development is not dependent on the surrounding topography. And that will be it for this video. Like I said before, Ashes of Creation content is going to boom soon with the lift of the NDA. So we should be seeing a lot more of this game over the next couple months. If you guys ended up enjoying this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're getting close to 50,000 subscribers. I owe it to you guys, and I'm excited to be part of the Ashes of Creation community now. Very, very excited for this game. Till next time.